This is a printed copy of the PowerPoint presentation because unfortunately I can't write and be on the PowerPoint at the same time. It's not working. So I just printed the slides and I'm going to write right on the slides. So this is a review again. We're finding the greatest common factor and we're using the cake, sled, grid method. It can be called any of those three things, but it all means the same. So to start with, we're going to do 34 and 76, draw our sled. And again, it does not matter what order these numbers go in, okay? I know I can divide each of these numbers by 2. 34 divided by 2 is 18. Oh, sorry. 34 divided by 2 is 17. And 76 divided by 2 is 38. I know that 17 is a prime number, so I can't break these down any further. So my greatest common factor for this one is the number 2. Let's look at 42 and 35. So 42, 35, I'm going to do my sled. I know that, well, I think 7 goes into both of these. 7, 42 divided by 7 is 6. And 35 divided by 7 is 5. I can't break 6 and 5 and divide them by anything besides 1. So again, my greatest common factor is 7. We're going to do the same methods with the numbers 90 and 51. I can divide 90 by 2, but I can't do 51 by 2. But I think I can do 51 divided by 3. I'm pretty sure. So let's try it. 90 divided by 3 is 30. 51 divided by 3 is 17. Again, a 17 is a prime number, so I can't break these down anymore. So my greatest common factor is 3. The next one is 88 and 55. Looking at these, they're doubles. 88 is 55, so I know I can divide it by 11. 11 times what equals 88? 8, right? And 11 times 5 equals 55. I can divide, 8 by 2, but I can't divide 5 by 2. So I'm done because 11 is also a prime number. So my greatest common factor is 11. Okay, moving on. We're going to do a different method now. We're going to do the factor tree. So I've got the numbers 77 and 11. I know that I can't divide it by 2 or 3. What can I divide 77 by? Not 2, we said not 3, not 4, not 5. Oh, excuse me, not 6. I can do 7 though. I can do 7 and 11, and both of those are prime numbers, so I'm done. And 11, well, can only do 1. and 11. So looking between the factors of 77 and the factors of 11, what is the biggest number they have in common? It's 11. So our greatest common factor is 11. Now let's slide over factor trees for 30 and 80. Okay, I know I can divide 30 by 2 and I'll get 15. 15 I can't divide by 2, but I can go by 3, and 3 times 5 equals 15. And now I'm down to all my prime numbers, okay? So let's look at number 80. I can divide by 2, and I can get 40. 40 divided by 2 again is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, do I have, do I have any numbers that are common in both? I see I have a 2 here and a 2 here. I don't have any 3s in both, but I do have 5s in both. So our answer is going to be 2 times 5 equals 10, and that is our greatest common factor. So let's move on. Again, we're doing the factor tree to 46 and 64. 46, I can divide it by 2 and I get 23. But 23 is one of those numbers, it's actually a prime number and you can't divide it anymore. But 64, I could go by 2 and I'm going to have the number what? 32, right? Can 32 be divided by 2? Yep, it can be the number 16. 16 can be divided by 2 and you get the number 8. And 8 can go in 2 and be the number 4. And 4 can go and be 2 times 2. What is the common number we have here? I've got 1, 2 here and 1, 2 here, and that's all we have in common. So our greatest common factor is 2. Okay, let's look at what numbers do we have? 33 and 88. Okay. I cannot divide 33 by 2, but I can by 3, and I get 11. Those are both prime numbers. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I am done there. Let's go to 88. I can divide it by 2, and I get 44. 44 divided by 2 gives me 22. And I can still break 22 and divide it by 2, and I get 11. Now looking at the factors of 33 and the factors of 11, what do I have in common? The 11s, right? So my greatest common factor is 11. Okay, now we're moving on to the last method we're going to talk about, and it's the list method. So 40 and 90. I've got, well, 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 4 times 10, and I can do 5 times 8, right? So, do the same thing for 90. I can do 1 times 90. I can do 2 times 45. I can do 3 times 30. Can't go by 4, but I can go by 5. I get 5 times 18. I can do 6 times 15. I can't go by 7, can't go by 8. I can go by 9 and go 9 times 10. So what is the biggest factor that I have in common with the number 40 and 90? What's the biggest number that I see in both spots? I see a 10 and a 10. So my greatest common factor is 10. We're going to scoot on over here, and we've got the numbers 21 and 98. For 21, I know I can do 1 times 21. I can't do 2, but I can do 3 times 7, and I think I'm actually done there. I don't know if there's any more factors, but let's look at 98 now. 98 I can always do 1 times 98. I could do 2 times 49. I can't do by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But I can do by 7. Will give me 14. No 8. No 9. 10. 11. 12. Nope. Okay, we have them all. So the greatest number I have in common between the factors of 21 and the factors of 98 is the number 7. 7 is our greatest common factor. Now our next one, we've got 96 and 54. Well, 96, you can always go 1 times 96. 2 times 48. Can I go by 3? I can't. 3 times 32. 4 times 24. Can't go by 5, but I can do 6 times 16. No 7. I can go 8 times 12. Okay, I think that's it. So let's look at 54 now. I can always do 1 times 54. I can do 2 times 27. I could do 3 times 18. Can't do 4, can't do 5. I can do 6 times 9. No 7, no 8, no 9. Okay, so looking at the 2, what's my biggest factor between 96 and 54? I see a 6 here and a 6 here, so my greatest common factor is 6. We're going to go to the last one, the list method. We've got the numbers 36 and 54. Well, 54, guys, I have right here. So I already know it was the last one we just did. So 1 times 54, 2 times 27, 3 times 18, and 6 times 9. So now let's figure out 36. I can always do 1 and 36, right? I can do 2 times 18. I can do 3 times 12. I can do 4 times 9. Can't divide by 6 or 5, but I can do 6 times 6. What is the biggest number we have in common here? Our greatest common factor is the number 18. So what you're going to do now is after this video, there is another YouTube video you can watch that will help you go through your assignment, okay? This was a review that the whole class did together on the board. It's like the lesson review today. And then your assignment will also be another another YouTube video that is attached to your Google Classroom. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.